Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And thank you for joining me for another unboxing video. So today, as per usual, I've got probably about 5 new albums to show you. Yeah, I'll go over the reasons behind each purchase, and hopefully if they tickle your fancy, please have a listen to them, see if they fit within your wheelhouse, and at least you know that they are available to purchase at this very moment. So first of all today is something that I didn't get the opportunity to have a listen to beforehand, and that always freaks me out slightly. We're gonna see how that all turns out. But the artist in question is called John Hicks, and it's an album called Steadfast. There you go. And just like the previous episode, I seem to have hit a rich vein of albums which are distributed and retailed by the company called Pure Pleasure, is it? Yeah, Pure Pleasure. Yeah, on the previous or future or previous episode, depending on which order I put these out in, I had a really good run with them. Each one was really packaged well, so hopefully that's going to be the case today. So this is originally on the Strata East label. This gentleman, I've got another one of his albums which I'm just going to show you in a second. I would never advise somebody buying an album without perhaps listening to it first. It's just to save disappointment. I'm not a millionaire or anywhere near that, so when I make purchases, it's an informed decision. It's not a case of, oh, I'm just going to take a chance on it, because I always find, well, not always find, because I try to avoid it, but my feeling is once you've committed to it, you're kind of forced into liking it because you made that choice. Sometimes you can take albums back. I'm not the sort of person who necessarily does that. So I try to hear them beforehand, make sure that I like them. Then once I have them, once I've purchased them, then it's not an issue. I'm never going to regret the purchase. So, but on this occasion, I wasn't able to hear it first. But the reason why I bought it, not only well, it's on the strength of the artist himself. So I'm going to show you the other album I have by him. Hold on one second. And it's this one. Lordy, this is a bad boy jazz album. If you like your piano jazz and you like it done with panache, I can't recommend this album enough. It absolutely blew my socks, my underwear, my thermal vest. It blew everything off. This just, yeah, it was a marvelous experience. At some point I will review this album. If you already have it, I'm sure you're going to agree with me that it's unbelievable, this album. If you've never heard it or never seen it before, please consider giving it a listen, see what you think, and see if it will fit into your particular collection. But we're not here to talk about this one. We are here to talk about this one. So yeah, as you can see from me enthusing about the other album I have by him, I just took a chance. I am hoping, I'm really hoping that this is going to turn out all right, and that this isn't a garbage production, because yeah, there's always the chance that that can happen. So I got my fingers crossed with this one. I'm hoping it's all going to turn out all right. So yeah, that's the reverse side for it. So yeah, let's go over the vinyl itself. So as I've shown you in other episodes from, well, depending on which order I put this out in, the Pure Pleasure record label, distributor, retailer, they always give you this bump as well. Now, I've probably got about 12 of these now, so yeah, this one's going to get discarded, no doubts about that. The vinyl itself, bear with me just for a moment. Oh, yeah, for what is the Pure Pleasure inner sleeves, looks real nice. got no problems with that at all. Yeah, that's just what I wanted. And the vinyl itself, not only as flat as a pancake, but super clean. So there you go. I should flip that the other way, but yeah, you get the point. No complaints with it. It is what I expected from this particular retailer distributor, Pure Pleasure. They've got the balance right in terms of weight. So really, I just got to give these guys a huge props, because, okay, I don't believe it's 180, but what I do believe is it's 140. It's respectable, nothing wrong with that. That's gonna, that's more than acceptable. It's super clean, and they've put it in an appropriate inner sleeve. So again, guys at Pure Pleasure, well done to you. Did a marvelous job. So that's one down. But yes, I just wouldn't advise purchasing records without listening to them, because then you're forced to like them. But I did it on this case and on the strength of the other album I have by him. So the second album today is a lovely slice of Brazilian music, and it's with the following artists. It is oh, what is her name again? I can't. Where's the names on this? This is just super irritating. It's basically called Edu and Bethânia. I've heard of them as solo artists. I'm trying. Why wouldn't you actually put their literal names, their full names, on the back of it? I don't. Anyway, they just probably assume that you know who they are. But sorry about the long rambling. Yeah, that's kind of like thrown me why they would do that. So I do like the album cover. Yeah, she's been real touchy there. So she obviously likes him. This, anyway, I'm not going to read too much into that. But what I heard of this album, oh yeah, for my Brazilian section of my collection, this is going to fit in absolutely lovely. This is, from my initial hearing of it, it's just up there as an album, and I don't know how I've lived my life without actually hearing this before. It's that good, and yeah, I'm super glad to have got my hands on it. So let me show you the reverse side. There you go, bit of that. So just a little bit to read there. But yes, I would, if you do like your kind of like golden era Brazilian tunes, this is going to be certainly in your wheelhouse. Yeah, have a listen to it first, but for me it's just like, it was a no-brainer. It's like, I'm having it. There you go. So the vinyl itself, let's see if there was any bump with it. So no, there wasn't. The vinyl itself came in this inner sleeve. So on one side you've got the actual on both sides. So it's track titles with the lyrics to the tracks in Portuguese. I'm not a fan of these inner sleeves. This one's not, this is not the worst example of it, but just put it in a standard fare, inner sleeve. Stop mucking about with these kind of ones. It's kind of irritating. So let's get the vinyl out. Okay. So as to be expected, there's a bit of detritus on the actual vinyl, and that comes from being in this kind of inner sleeve. Why, oh why record companies do that, I don't know. I think they think they're being smart and clever. Come on, you're pressing tens of thousands of these potentially. Just put it in an appropriate inner sleeve, and then put this on a piece of card. This can be like, a double-sided card. You didn't look how much space is wasted there. You didn't need to do that. It's like anyway, first of all, let me show you the label. Oh, okay, let me see if I can spin it the other way. Hold on. So I've got it upside down in the image. So it's on the audio clarity label. Not the most interesting actual record label bit there itself. Okay, it's not the cleanest, and let's have a look at it. Oh, you know, I shouldn't be surprised. It is flat. There's no doubts about it. And the weight is really good. I think it's slightly heavier than those from the Pure Pleasure imprint. I think this is slightly heavier. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that. So not only a superb sounding album in terms of content, the actual compositions, which are top notch, but a good piece of vinyl as well. The only downside is this, but I'm not going to get triggered by it because the overall package, real good, real good. So I'm really pleased about that. But as you know, I'm going to keep this, but of course, as soon as I get the opportunity to clean this album, then yeah, I won't be using that again. Right, with the next album, I'm going to show you perhaps a compromise as to what you can do as a label. So the next album is from what I remember of it, don't get me wrong, the gap between me listening to it like initially, liking it, deciding to purchasing it, then receiving it, then doing this video, there's quite a gap, so sometimes I do forget what I've actually purchased, but this one, from what I recollect, it may be on the folksy side. It's maybe a bit of fusion, bit of kind of like, I'm assuming it's kind of like European jazz, and it's by a lady called Renata Lewandowska, I believe it's pronounced, because W's are pronounced as V's, I think, in Polish. And I did have a try and, I got like Google to pronounce the actual title of the album, and it's Docik, I believe is the pronunciation, but those who live in Poland will correct me quite quickly. So this is a never before published recordings found in the Polish radio archives, 1974 to 78 is the sticker to go along with it, and that's the lady in question. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for European, particularly Polish jazz, so I'm assuming this is in the wheelhouse. So no regrets with this. Can't wait to give this a listen on my turntable. Let me show you the reverse side. There you go. Yeah, it's like I'm quite familiar with some of the Polish jazz artists, and I do hope that this is jazz rather than some other genre, but I assume it is. Yeah, what I did, it was certainly striking enough for me to buy it, and I got no doubt at some stage I'm going to be reviewing it for one of the episodes. Yeah, I like something different. I don't like buying all the same kind of genres all the time. I like to like break out every now and again, so I think this is going to fit in lovely in my collection. The packaging what came with it, and this is why I wanted to compare and contrast with the last album, is that you get a booklet, and the majority, well, it's bilingual, it's in Polish as well as English, and yeah, that's really nice packaging, really nice. She looks good in her flares and a kind of like denim on denim look, which you could get away with in the late 60s into mid 70s. You can get away with that look, so good for her. And that's the reverse. Yeah, that's real good, that's real nice, that's something to look forward to reading. So yeah, I look forward to that. And the vinyl itself came in this inner sleeve. Okay, I'm going to moan about that again. It's like that was superfluous. You didn't need it. On the other side, you have the actual track listings, and do be careful when you do that because that's the opening there. So yeah, that's interesting in and of itself, but why do they do that? I don't know. It's card thick card. But there you go, finally extracted it. So again, there's a slight kink in it, nothing really to get me too worked up. So let me show you the vinyl itself. One side, and that's the second side. In terms of weights, 130, 140, it feels slightly lighter than the Pure Pleasure ones, slightly, if not, yeah, it's around the same wheelhouse. I'm not disappointed by the weight of it, rest assured I'm not. What I am knocked off about is the cardboard sleeve again. Record companies, please stop doing it. It's quite simple, the reason behind it, and that is, and this is, I'm sorry for like going off on a tangent and like appearing like really mad about it, because in the scheme of life it isn't that important. After all, this is just a hobby. But if you're going to be doing this and you've presented this absolutely lovely, apart from the cardboard in a sleeve, no matter what you say, the vinyl is always going to rub inside it. It's just to do with movement of transit and stuff like that. So yeah, you get these kind of like you definitely know it's been in a cardboard sleeve rather than, you know, a lighter grade paper, or what we would consider, as people who are enthusiastic about vinyl and purchasing vinyl, what we would come to expect from inner sleeves. What's the minimum standard? Yeah, please stop doing that. It's just put it in something appropriate rather than in the card. But I think what the card does is not only gives some of the strength to the packaging, but it makes you think that the vinyl's a lot heavier than what it actually is. So spend less money on this and put more money into the weight of this. Can you just do it that way round? Just, you know, please. I'd be happier. All of us who purchase music will be happier. So that's my moan out of the way. But yes, I can't wait to listen to this particular album. I know I'm in for a treat. So yeah, I'm going to try and dial back. I'm going to try and dial it back, some of my kind of disappointment there. But yeah, as soon as I can, as soon as I'm going to get this clean, this is never going back in here. Never. You can. It just feels like sandpaper. Oh, calm yourself. All right, so the next album is something I'd seen years ago, missed out on it for whatever reason, and when I did realise that, oh, actually, you do like that, try and buy it. It was no longer available, so I'm glad it's been re-released again, and it's an album by Vick, and the album's entitled "Don't Look Back." There you go, and once again, it's on the Pure Pleasure label. So again, they're just taking money off me left, right, and centre. So good for them. They're giving me what I want, so not a problem. Quite like the album cover. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I you know, I quite like it. The reverse side, that would have been more appropriate, or an image, just the black and white standard, you know, photography type one, rather than messing with it and, you know, making the lines more blurred. I'm not sure who thought that was a good idea, but don't do it again, kind of thing. Yeah, what I've heard of this, really liked it. As I said, missed out on it the first time round, or not first time round, but the last time it was released, I missed out on it. Glad to get it back in my hands now. So yeah, I know I'm in for an absolute treat with this one. Please have a listen to it, see what you think, see if it will fit in your collection, but for me, it's right in my wheelhouse. The vinyl which it comes with, it's one of these again. Let's get rid of that. And sorry for that. I think that's partially to do with my frustration with the card insert, and partially because I've got like 20 of those now. The vinyl that it comes in is the lovely inner sleeve. more than acceptable. This one's a bit creased, so I might just change it just because it's creased more than anything, not because it's no good. And the vinyl itself, again, lovely kind of 140, 150 mark. On the Strata East imprint. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, not absolutely flat, but nothing which is gonna, like, you know, make tears roll down my cheeks. And it's clean. It's clean. Not the cleanest of all the ones that I've taken out today, but it is clean. So really happy, really happy. So yeah. The last album today, again, is on the Pure Pleasure. Oh gosh, they done really well out of me. But as with any of us who, you know, whatever you're collecting, if you find a source which provides you with exactly what you want at a fair price, for the quality that you would prefer, stick with them. Stick with them. It's like there's no reason to go elsewhere if you can get what you want, and they certainly been delivering for me. So Pure Pleasure. So the next album, well, the last album I'm going to show you in this episode is an album by Music Inc. and it's with Charles Tolliver, Stanley Cowell, Jimmy Hops and Cecil McBee, all guys that I've heard of before. Yeah, this album has a particular track which I heard on a BBE compilation. I think it was on their Jazz Spectrum compilation, which absolutely blew my mind when I first heard it. So I'm glad to get a copy of the original material which that track came from. So let me show you that. There you go. Not the most interesting of covers, but it does the job. And this is the reverse side. So it says it's 180 gram analog limited edition for audiophile remastering, the most beautiful music format in the world, the sticker says. And we'll see if it's 180 grams. But the track that I was banging on about is called I thought it was called Abstractions, but it's called Abscretions. Is there such a word as abscretions? I've heard of secretions, I've heard of abstractions, abscretions. I'm gonna have to like check that out in a dictionary because I'm not sure what that means. So yeah, there you go. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. Yeah. So yeah, what I've come to hear of this album, yeah, I had to have it. There's certain things when they come up that you feel within yourself you must own, and like every one of us out there, I work hard enough that, you know, put money aside for my hobbies, and when I see things that I want, yeah, just to make my life a bit happier, then I'm gonna get it. So yeah, this is a good example of that. The vinyl itself, again, another one of these. The vinyl itself, oh sorry, I shot the camera there. The vinyl itself comes in the what has come to be the Pure Pleasure standard of inner sleeves. Nothing wrong with that, perfectly acceptable. Got no real reason to swap it over. I can't see any kind of holes in it or anything, so good for them. The vinyl itself is on the Strata East, but instead of the black and white halves, it's just got pure white pretty much. And I'll show you the other side. Yeah, that's nice. Flat as a pancake. That ain't no 180 gram. I don't know what they're talking about. So that's probably, of all the vinyl that I've shown you today, this is probably excuse me, this is probably the lightest, but within acceptable tolerances. It's not a case of like, oh, it's horrible. No, not at all. Yeah, but I feel that this is probably it feels the lightest. So there you go, take that on board. But even if it was like, you know, ridiculous, like 100 grams, I was still going to get it because I must have this album. So there you go. That was the last album today. So I did rant a bit. I went off on a tangent. Hopefully you found that enjoyable. I could feel myself getting angry there. Yeah, that's super funny. Yeah, so hopefully you found the episode mildly amusing, watching my distress, and informative as well, hopefully. Yeah, it's just an opportunity for you to see what's out there. Gives you enough time to have a listen to these albums, see if it's going to fit into your collection, and if it is, then you know, at least you know it's out there for purchase. So thank you very much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure once again. Sorry it's gone on for so long, this video, but there you go. That's what happens when you're ranting, you kind of lose track of time. Please look after yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you for the next episode. So until then, take care. Bye bye.